So I'm in Salisbury and it's got quite a nice cathedral, and that's good. But the main reason I'm here is to walk from here to Winchester, which is on one of these ancient pilgrimage trails which are scattered all over the UK. So my plan is, it's a little bit late in the morning, but I'm going to check in here, have a look at the cathedral, and then start moving towards Winchester. Should take me about 2 days. I have mild concern that I won't make it in time and I'll have to rush, but fingers crossed. So a lot of the countryside around here reminds me a lot of Daylesford, where I grew up. These rolling hills, clouds, paddocks, the whole bit. But then, medieval hill fort, Neolithic hill. This is a bit niche, but there's a whole field full of peas behind me, which looks like the farmer has just grown and left in the field, because peas restore nitrogen to the soil, which makes the soil much more fertile. So I've passed through a bunch of wheat fields, and now I think I'm walking between two little townships on this path that's completely overgrown. It's the most English thing in the world. There are trees growing moss and everything is so verdant and green. The English summer is sensational. Well done, England. Nice work. Slight change of plans. The pilgrimage route that I was following goes really not close enough to my hotel for my satisfaction, and I was going to be so late getting in and getting to where I'm staying. So I'm kind of going cross country through a different town to get there. It's not too much of a deviation. I will have to make up the difference in the morning, but them's the breaks. So here's the great thing about walking in England. I've diverted off my path, and I thought I was going to be walking along a main road for ages to get where I needed to be. So I asked Apple Maps, what's the quickest way to get there? And turns out there's a path, and it's a footpath, and Apple knows about it. And so that's what I'm using, and that's great. Any ideas what this is? If this was Australia, I'd probably think it was a wombat. So I'm guessing badger? Anyone know? So I'm not feeling quite so fresh this morning as I was yesterday. The damage that I took from walking so far yesterday is still here, surprisingly. My feet are a bit tender, done a bit of surgery on some blisters, and now I'm just walking to get back to the start of the pilgrimage trail. You can't see it, but that way, there's this beautiful braided river, which it's only very shallow and it's full of fish, and the town I was staying in is famous. Attracts people all the way around from all over the country to catch those same fish. So this is the River Test, which is apparently very clean and very pure and has this chalk base and is very lovely to look at, but it annoys me for two reasons. One is because I want to get down there and get some water and I can't, because two, it's all fenced off because the river is privately owned and you have to pay the landowner to come in and fish or get water or do whatever it is you want to do, which seems bizarre to me coming from Australia, but I guess, it's been here for a long time, so that's the way things are done here. I'm currently walking through a farm which has footpaths through it, public right-of-ways that anyone can use. This is a medieval farm, apparently. It's been going back to the 12th century, not in exactly the same shape and not growing this traditional English crop of corn, but continuity. So I've got about 20 kilometres to go, and I've got about 4 hours to do it if I want to get to Winchester Cathedral before it closes for the day. Honestly, I like to think I probably could do that, but it's probably touch and go because I slow down over the course of the day. But fingers crossed, you never know. At least I'll be able to see it from the outside before I have to go back to London. Honestly, it's a bit of a fine line between walking slowly enough to enjoy yourself and trying to get somewhere specific. And given the grief my back has been giving me over the last little bit, although it's kind of better now, I'm not going to kill myself to get there. I'm just going to get there in a reasonable manner because the point of this particular journey is very much the journey. The destination was just convenient. So, fingers crossed. It's getting to be a bit of a slog now. I'm 3/4 of the way through the entire trip and I'm tired and I'm sore, and if you're anything like me, when you're tired and sore, that's when the mundane worries and concerns and start to filter back in because your mind knows you're nearly done and it's getting ready to deal with whatever the next problem is. So I reckon part of the trick of long distance hiking is really just keeping your mind on the job at hand. I don't have any secrets. I'm not very good at it, but I guess half the battle is knowing that there's a problem. I made it. but it's closed because I took too long. But that's okay. It is enormous. It is beautiful. It is very long, apparently the longest medieval church in Europe, the world, I guess. And it took 500 years to build. Meanwhile, my feet are in pieces. I'm very dry, and I don't want to tell you about the degree of chafing that I have. So I am going to call it quits here. Thanks for coming along. It's been fun.